Welcome to this week's Property Elite podcast. Stay tuned each week for industry hot topics, market updates, and new RICS guidance. In this week's blog, we look at some hot topics for MENA in 2026. This is a central reading for all associate RICS and RICS APC candidates based in MENA. The hot topics we will look at are Saudi Vision 2030, Giga-Projects, and FIDIC contracts. Saudi Vision 2030. Vision 2030 is KSA's blueprint for a better future, based on three strategic pillars: a vibrant society, improving quality of life; a thriving economy, diversifying away from oil; and an ambitious nation, becoming a global leader. It is not just a government strategy, it is the primary driver of the construction and property markets in KSA. A key aim is to increase home ownership to 70% by 2030, leading to the creation of ROSHN, a national Giga-Project and subsidiary of the Public Investment Fund PIF, and the Sakani platform, providing subsidised financing. The PIF is the driving force behind KSA Giga-Projects, including NEOM, Sustainable Urbanism, for example the Line and Oxagon; Red Sea Global, Regenerative Tourism; Qiddiya, Entertainment and Sports; and Diriyah Gate, Heritage and Najid Architecture. The Real Estate General Authority, REGA, has been created, with responsible for licensing of brokers, property managers and auctioneers, and Wafi requirements relating to off-plan sites. In terms of sustainability, KSA is targeting net zero by 2060. Initiatives including mandatory green building standards and energy efficiency requirements, SBC 601/602. These will influence property value, for example green premiums and construction costs. Giga-Projects. Giga-Projects are large-scale, multi-sector integrated investment ecosystems designed to stimulate economies. This is through creating new industries, promoting sustainability, and driving non-oil GDP growth. Managing projects of this magnitude introduces unprecedented risks that RICS APC candidates must be able to discuss. For example, dealing with logistical and coordination challenges which go beyond traditional project management; specifying procurement strategies to deal with global demand and long-term supply of materials and specialised labour; and innovation risk, as projects often utilise first-of-a-kind technologies, for example modular construction at scale or renewable energy integration. This can bring uncertainty to projects, which requires considered risk management. Sustainability is a core requirement for Giga-Projects, often going over and above to enhance the environment. RICS APC candidates need to consider the value of green assets and managing cost premiums associated with 100% renewable energy infrastructure. Working on Giga-Projects typically requires adaptations to traditional procurement and contracting practices, for example collaborative, partnering style contracts, and the use of building information modelling, BIM, and digital twins. FIDIC contracts. In the MENA region, the FIDC, International Federation of Consulting Engineers, contracts tend to be the industry standard for international construction and infrastructure projects. Candidates must be able to identify which FIDIC book is appropriate for a specific procurement route. The primary 2017 editions and their 1999 predecessors include the Red Book, Conditions of Contract for Construction. The contractor builds the works in accordance with the design provided by the employer. Payment is usually based on a bill of quantities. Yellow Book, Conditions of Contract for Plant and Design Build. The contractor designs and provides the works plant building based on the employer's requirements. Silver Book, Conditions of Contract for EPC Turnkey. Used for infrastructure projects where a high degree of price and time certainty is required. The contractor takes on the majority of the risk for design and execution. White Book, Client Consultant Model Services Agreement. Essential for the appointment of consultants, for example engineers and architects rather than contractors. In the red and yellow books, the engineer is a central figure. Candidates need to understand the engineer's duty to act on behalf of the employer, as well as to act fairly when determining costs or time exclusions under Clause 3. FIDIC is known for a balanced approach to risk. However, candidates should understand the strict 28-day notice period under Clause 20, Employers and Contractors Claims. Understanding the strict 28-day notice period and how FIDIC handles unforeseen events beyond the control of both parties, for example, force majeure and exceptional events. FIDIC promotes a multi-tiered approach to avoiding formal litigation. Dispute Avoidance Adjudication Board, DAAB, a standing or ad hoc board that assists the parties in avoiding disputes or provides a decision if a dispute arises. Amicable Settlement, a mandatory period to attempt to resolve the issue before moving to arbitration. And arbitration, usually the final tier, typically conducted under ICC rules in international MENA projects. Candidates should also be aware of the FIDIC Golden Principles. These are 5 mandatory rules that ensure that the particular conditions added by users do not change the fundamental risk-sharing nature of the FIDIC contract. In the MENA region, many governments use modified versions of the FIDIC Red Book. Candidates undertaking the contract practice technical competency must therefore understand the baseline FIDIC version before identifying where local amendments have shifted the risk profile. Thanks for listening to this week's Property Elite podcast. Head to our website to check out the full blog, and here you will find free and paid support resources and services. We offer a free consultation for every single RICS APC and Associate RICS candidate, or you can ask us any questions you have via the online chat. See you next week.